In the previous video, we saw how to use a function. We created a basic function that says hello world and we called it whenever we wanted its block of code to be executed. So that was a simple function. But when working with JavaScript, you may need to create really complicated functions. You want them to do a specific job for you, then give you back the result. For example, here let's declare an array. This array has numbers. What if you want a function that gives you the sum of these numbers? Well, you can have a function that can do this for you and gives you the result whenever you want. So let's see how we can do it. We first declare a function, then let's call it SumArray. Then here we want this function to calculate the sum of these array items. Let's create a sum variable here inside the function. Then to this sum variable we will return the result of the reduce method used on this array. So let's do it. If you don't understand this code, go back to the array section and see how we used the reduce method. So this is really a simple code, nothing fancy here. And now let's try to console log the result of the sum. Then let's go to the browser and of course nothing happens. Remember, to execute this block of code, we have to call the function. So let's do it. And now it is working. Great, we have the sum. But now what if you need this result? You don't want to console log, you just want to have the result of the sum variable. Well, you can here use the keyword return and return the result of the sum variable. So let's remove this console log and add return sum. And now when we go to the console, well, it looks like nothing happened, but in reality this line of code is returning the value of sum. But we're not storing it in a variable. We can give the result that is being returned from this function to a variable. So I will create a variable and I will give it the result of this function. And now let's console log this variable. And great, we have the correct value. So we made use of this function to calculate the sum of this array, then return the result to us. Great. You also have to know that inside a function, whenever you use the return keyword, the function will stop executing and it will return the value immediately. For example, let's add a console log after the return keyword. And now when we save the file and see the result, well, this line has not been executed. So you have to remember, whenever you use the return keyword inside a function, the function stops immediately and returns the result. Now let's create another function that filters our array. This function will return a new array with array items that are greater than 50. We first use the keyword function, then give to this function a name, then parentheses, then let's open the block of code. And here we will make use of the filter method. First we will create a variable for the result, then here we use the filter method, then we return the result. And now let's call the function and store the value returned in a new variable. Then let's console log the result, and now we have the correct result. Great. So in this video we saw how we could make use of functions to do a lot of amazing stuff. And we used the return keyword to get informations from functions. If you still find this confusing, practice and practice. Keep practicing, trust me. At first it looks like rocket science, but with practice it will become really easy.